Well, we're here again. Now then, I said I wasn't very happy with my button tree, so I felt that looks a little bit sort of drab, and this was the fibre that I was looking for to add. So I think what I might do is I might add some of this on of its own accord, and I liked it because it's curly whirly, you know. So I think that what I might do is just cut a couple of bits off and just stick them on over the top of some of the buttons, because I wanted that movement, and I think that visually it gives that movement, but also it will physically move as well. So I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a couple of these little pieces here, there and everywhere, to just add to my tree. So I just wanted to tell you about that bit. I know that some of you, when you've purchased pop-up shop in the past, you've actually purchased some of this from me previously. So if you're one of those people, this might be an idea of something that you can add to your tray. So I'm going to do that afterwards. So I'll show you in the next video what it looks like. Now then, going back to yesterday's prompt, which was doing the backwards crossword. There we go. That's what my page now looks like. Now I'd got these, and I've been searching for them for a day and a half. I got these from Hobbycraft, and I wanted to use those as the title, so I'm really glad I went and found them. Of course, what had happened was I moved them to their new home. That's what I couldn't find them, because I couldn't remember where their new home was. Now, what I did was I just wrote the word faves, because obviously favourites wouldn't fit in there. And so what I did was F-A-V-E-S. So out of the 5 letters, that was going to be the middle one, which was a V. So I started off by sticking the V in place first and then put the other letters either side of that. All right. I've just temporarily use some washi tape to hold my piece in place, because I want to actually peel it off to be able to colour in the blank squares. But just to give you a close-up of some of the words that I've used, and also these were my clues. So I haven't finished them all yet, but down was word, which is obviously discombobulated, season, autumn, sound, music, food, gotta be cake, colour, purple, also my favourite film, that of all time, Colour Purple. My second favourite drink was lattes, and then across words I got animal. I prefer dogs to any others. Drink. What did I have that for? Drink. Brew. Hobbies ×2, so I've got journals and embroidery. Taste, chocolate, can't beat a taste of chocolate. Craft shopping, put Amazon. It's getting a bit desperate at this point. Makes me feel happy. Now there's several within this, so there's family, there's friendship, there's laughing, you know, all those things. So that's what it looks like. And then what I'm going to do is, once I finish filling in the words as I want, I'm then going to get, I think I'm going to use my marker pens here and colour it in maybe pink so that it matches in with the washi tape, rather than colouring it in black, because black is one of those colours that if you don't get it coloured in right, it shows up, or if you get over the line. Whereas I thought at least with these marker pens, they're a little bit more subtle in colour, and therefore you won't notice it quite so much if I mess it up a little bit. And the other thing that I did was I stuck my piece of graph paper onto a piece of brown card, and then I stuck that onto a piece of dictionary page and inked up all around the edge. So, you know, it's fairly plainish looking, but do you know what? I'm okay with that. I can add some stickers on it as well if I want to afterwards. So that was my backwards crossword that I've done. So now we need to go on to the next prompt. So this next prompt is actually almost like a double-barreled kind of prompt. And the first part of it is decorate an envelope. Okay, so that's part number 1. Part number 2, have I spelt that right? Oh, I've missed out an E, look. I'm going to have to do it again. I'm getting terrible at spelling. Well, at least you don't have to point it out to me this time, look. I can't spell. Decorate an envelope. And the second part will be letter or a note, it's up to you, to future self. Now, what I mean by that is you can write a little note to yourself in a year's time. Doesn't have to be for 10 years time, 20 years time, although it could be if you wanted to. But if you write a little note to yourself for in a year's time, and then you go back and have a look through the journal and you come across it, you'll be like, oh yeah. So project life cards would be good to have in your envelope, and write yourself a little note on there. But yeah, double-barreled one for today's prompt. Decorate an envelope, which you'll insert into your journal, and then write a little letter or note to your future self and pop it in the envelope. Okay, I'll come back and show you some ideas in a minute. So I've spelt it correctly. So I can now stick this one in my book. So I'll stick that in later. And I've got this box out of sort of partial done or fully done pieces of embellishments that I've made. And I've chosen some things from out of here to show you what I'm thinking about for the envelopes. So let me move those out the way. And I'm going to add a link to one of my previous videos in the description box down below, because I talk you through how to go about decorating some envelopes so that you're kind of prepped to be able to fully decorate them afterwards once you've found the journal that they're going to go into. So for instance, this one, it's partially decorated, and if I go to, there we go, the 11th of Feb, that could, although it's too big, but that could be the one that goes in the journal. And then because I've now got a journal for it to go into, and it's butterfly, so it matches with that, I can add some more decoration to it to then make it into a completely decorated journal. Okay, now then, there is also just a partially decorated envelope here, in that it's only decorated on the opening side. Okay, so I've just decorated it with some papers, so I could actually stick that onto my page. And again, the colours go really well with what's on this side of the page. It could be a window envelope that you've decorated, so then you could add a little note inside of there, and part of it will show through the actual window itself. It could be the likes of one of these envelopes that is a graphic 45 envelope, so you could utilise one of those, so you don't even have to make an envelope. That's another purchased envelope that you could use, so you could actually include a couple of those on your page, or you could make your own envelopes from scratch from some papers that you own and utilise those. Now then, following on from that, you need to have a little think about it, because if you're going to decorate the front of your envelope, you don't want to then really stick it in unless you stick just the flap in so that you can access what's inside of the pocket. So if you don't want to stick it in, then you'll need to think about some kind of maybe a vertical or a horizontal belly band, or maybe even just a little pocket on the bottom that you can then slip it inside of. Okay, if you're going to decorate like with this one, where I just decorated the back side of it, which is the opening, I could actually stick that into my journal. I don't have to think about a belly band of any kind or a pocket to hold it in place. So you need to think that one through as well, of like, make sure that it fits. If it's opposite a page that you've already got done, does it complement and go nicely with it? And then how you're then going to attach it or keep it within the page. Of course, you could just paper clip it in place as well. So I think, yeah, we'll see. I'll have a little play and see what I can come up with. And then I'll go through some of my journaling cards that I've got already pre-cut. I'll have a look through some of the Project Life cards that I've got, see if any of those apply. And I might write myself a couple of future notes, maybe one to look at in a year's time, one that will make me laugh, about something daft that I've done, maybe some advice to myself, maybe some goals that I might set for myself and see if I've achieved them. You know, there's all sorts of different little notes that you can write to yourself. So I'm going to go off and go and play. You might end up seeing one of these in my journal for the next prompt, but we'll see. And I'll see you really soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.